Welcome in to the MKP Communications offices on this Thursday afternoon. I'm Chelsea Saffron, our senior creative copywriter for the agency, and I have the pleasure today of sitting down with our president, founder, and CEO, Hillary Kelbick, and our chief digital officer and executive vice president and future leader of MKP Communications, Maxwell Chalkin. Hillary and Max, thank you so much for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for hosting this, Chelsea.
We are sitting down this afternoon on the eve of MKP's 30th anniversary, which is officially this fall. Is it October?
October 18th, 2024.
2024, so 1994 to 2024. And we have been thinking as a company about what this anniversary means, which is going to be different for everyone. Some of us have been here since the first day. Some, like myself, are part of the newest wave of employees coming to the agency. And in conversation, you've used a phrase that I've really liked, and that was that this anniversary is a nod to what was, a celebration of what is, and a promise of what's to come. Was that, those were your words?
Every time I hear it, I love it. And it's true. It really is true.
And I would love to use that as the jumping off point for today's conversation, to get some insights from you and what you're thinking about as we launch these 30th anniversary celebrations, and hear from Max, our chief digital officer, the first one in MKP's history.
And a pathway to the future.
Exactly.
Both, because he's bringing kind of the notion of digital opportunities to the company, and also because he is really going to be the next leader of the company. And how does that make me feel? Really and truly that myself, along with a whole lot of other people, have created something that's just larger than me, larger than just the company. We've created an energy that has kind of really taken us from, direct mail, putting things in the mail, telling people, your accounts are changing, offering them a new opportunity by opening an envelope and saying special offer inside, to really, really kind of touching individuals about things that are meaningful just to them, and using a whole array of new technologies to tell them about something that's just going to impact them. So that's kind of the notion of the hope for the future. But the notion of the nod to the past is really kind of, wow, the building blocks and the way we started, which was very much in keeping with what was happening in the world in 1994.
So let's go to 1994. That's a great place to be.
It was before it was really and truly before the internet was kind of really engaged. And we started our company, myself, a colleague, and an assistant. And basically, we got a space and we just said, okay, we're a company. And we had an opportunity to land a really huge project. And someone from a very large bank was coming to see, well, what was the company really like? And what did we do? Well, we hung pictures on the walls, and we brought in about a dozen people who didn't work for us, but they were friends of the company. There were some printers, there was a photographer, there were some freelancers whom I had known throughout my career, and literally had somewhere in the neighborhood of about a dozen people show up, sit in this very empty space with some furniture that we borrowed and bought. And, the bank came in, looked around, saw that, oh, yes, there's an administrator and there's a front office person, and looks like there's a creative team. And, there's a couple of people who look like they're in project management because they're on the phone and they have a lot of papers on their desk and a lot of calendars and such. And we got this job.
So you staged a bustling agency scene for a visiting prospect. Mm-hmm. You won that business. Mm-hmm. And is it not true that many of those people who sat in the office that day
ultimately came to work for me? Yes.
Right.
That is true. However, it also included my husband, who never has come to work for me. He works with me. And some of the people who came in did become marketing partners. They became vendors. They became colleagues. But yeah, of the dozen people who came in, about half ultimately came to work for us.
a true fake it till you make it, but the timeline to making it wasn't that far after the faking it.
Yeah, we got lucky. But after the first big success, we had an opportunity to bid on another large piece of business. The way it all kind of happened is, you get a project working for a bank, you do well, you bring on someone who used to work for a bank and they become your subject matter expert, and then people say, so you do bank marketing? Yes, we do. We do bank marketing, and we have several former bankers on our staff, as well as people coming from the agency side, because after all, we know how to be an agency. How can you be an agency for banks? Well, if you have former bankers on your team, then they essentially show, well, they know banking. And so one success begot another success. And that's really kind of how it all began.
The company has gone through some major changes over just the past couple of years in terms of expanding, not just in volume of work, but geographically. Can you talk a little about how that came to be?
Well, it was a matter of being able to step up to the needs that our clients were putting out there. We started our business 30 years ago, and basically the tactics that we used really focused on direct mail and print marketing materials that would go into storefronts, into branches, into executive offices. And now, while we are still using a lot of the traditional tactics, we're using a whole wealth of brand new ways to touch customers and prospects. And that was really the impetus for, oh my God, we've got to grow, we've got to shift, we've got to change. But in doing so, holding on to some of the basic skill sets that have really gotten us to where we are today.